What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Good Game Reviews. Here to do another game review, and this week we are doing Patriots versus Dolphins. Um, really, this review is not going to be that long, only because there's nothing really much to talk about except for the beating that the Patriots gave the Dolphins today. Um, yeah, it was. Yeah, like if you didn't get a chance to catch the game, just go watch the highlights. Really, I mean that's all I can really recommend to you because you didn't. Let's just say you'll be pleased if you're a Patriots fan. If you're a Dolphins fan, not so much. I don't know what's going on with the Dolphins. They say they're not tanking, but this looks like tanking to me. It looks like taking. It looks like tanking to me. Either that or they're just very, very, very bad. Uh, but anyway, neither one is good. Let's get to the numbers. Tom Brady had another good game, 20 for 28, 264 yards. Had two TDs, had a pass rating of 124.7. Yeah, not really, not really. The big performance that I expected. I expected like him to do to probably throw for a lot more, at least a lot more yards. But you know how it goes in Miami. You know somehow they can still just kind of like rattle with him, just kind of mess with him a little bit. Um, but yeah, I mean he's still he didn't throw any interceptions. So he's still good on that. So until like we get to next week. Right now we're sitting at 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. So that's good. As far as rushing, Son Michel improved very well as opposed to last week. He wasn't able to really get anything going against that Steelers defense. But of course, going against this Miami's defense, they haven't really been able to stop anybody. And he was able to rush for about 85 yards, had 21 carries, and he got a touchdown. He got a goal line touchdown, punched it right through. He almost had another one later on in the game, but they said he was short. Patriots go do it. They run the play. Tom Brady ends up sneaking it in, so he gets a rushing touchdown on the day. So actually, he has 3 touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. Yeah. Receiving. Oh man. Antonio Brown. I was not fully on board with this. Still a little shaky on it. Don't know how this is going to all turn out. There's a lot going on behind, scenes as far as regarding like off the field, but on the field, it is looking pretty good, and it looks like Tom Brady is either trying to get Antonio Brown comfortable in the system, or they're just clicking that fast, and it looked really good. 8 targets, 4 receptions, 56 yards. Had him a TD. Yeah, I mean, and he targeted him like in the end zone about 3 times. Or it was probably a few more than that, but as far as I counted, like 3 times he targeted him in the end zone. It was just that he just liked the matchup, and one of them was a bad pass on Brady's end, but yeah, he just seemed to like that matchup. And if you have Antonio Brown and you got him on your bench, I would recommend at least put him in your slot. This is like just me speaking fantasy wise. Just if you got him, just go ahead and put him in your slot because he's gonna do his thing. Edelman, he had a sneakily good game, 51 yards, 4 receptions. James White, he got him a receiving touchdown later on in the game, pretty much to just kind of run up the score. So that was pretty much like the last score of the game as far as the Patriots offense went. And they really didn't need to do it. They just wanted to step on the necks, and I very much appreciate it. Yeah, I don't like taking it easy on the team. If you can put up the points, go ahead and put up the points. the defensive side. If there was probably one side of this that was more exciting than the offensive side, it had to been the defense, because the defense showed out. I have the Patriots defense on my fantasy, by the way. Got me 50 points. Very good. Um, yeah, but as far as like what they was able to do, production wise, 7 sacks, 7 sacks. Man, Patriots are they trying to one up the Bears, man. They trying to get that number one defense this year. They trying to get it, and the way they rolling, I who's to blame? I mean, who's to stop them? You know, like the way they're producing on there, getting after the quarterback, you know, making these incredible stops, locking down receivers in coverage, and I mean, who's to stop them? They also got 4 interceptions, 2 of them pick sixes. One, Stephon Gilmore, he you know he kind of like left his man, came back, saw where the quarterback was throwing. Quarterback was on the receiver the whole time. Came in, boom, snatched it, instantly took off for the other direction. Got him a pick six. Second pick six, Jamie Collins, receiver bobbles the ball. Jamie Collins makes a great one-handed grab, stays in bounds somehow, and just races down the sideline and just scores. I I still don't know how he even stayed in bounds. It just looked like he was like that close to going out of bounds, but he just stayed in there and got his footing and just took off. So, man, this is a really good game. Chase Winovich, um, Chase, congratulations, first sack. Welcome to the NFL. He had 1.5 sacks. So if you're looking at the stat sheet, he pretty much led the team. I mean, you know what? Take that back. Who actually led the team was Adam Butler with 2 sacks. I almost forgot about my man Adam Butler. He had 2 sacks. He had a nice play where he stuck his hand, knocked the ball down, and I've been seeing that a lot more lately. Guys at the line getting their hands up, swatting the ball down. John Simon managed to do it again. I think it's only time before John Simon gets him a little pick too. Um, Man, this defense showed out. Jamie Collins led the team in tackles, by the way, and man, this defense is looking good. I mean, we had so many contributions on the defensive side of the ball. Not only Jamie Collins producing like in terms of sacks and interceptions, and Butler and McCourty got him another interception, and Bennett got a sack, and John Simon got a sack, and Danny Shelton even got a sack. So, it was just a really good day for the Patriots defense and the Patriots offense, but more so the defense, because the defense they're going to start getting a lot more attention. They don't really get too much attention because of Brady and company. And people still give them the props like once it all comes down, like once you get closer to the playoffs and whatnot. But during the season, it just seems like they don't really get too much talk, and that might change the way they've been producing. They have a chance to be like the best defense in the league this year if they keep on producing the way they've been producing. So, I mean, looking at how they're able to shut teams down, is it like fair to say that they could be number one defense? Looking at the competition, you looked at the Steelers. Maybe they're not as strong as we thought they were. You look at the Dolphins. We already know what position they're at as far as their strength. You have next week the Jets, and they're going to be without Sam Darnold, and we'll probably be able to see what they will look like without Sam Darnold since they're going against the Browns tomorrow night. But yeah, even though I certainly want to say that the Patriots could possibly have the best defense in the league, but because of the competition that they're going against, and because so far, the teams haven't really been able to do anything, they haven't allowed a team to score a touchdown yet. So, that's just in itself amazing. I was reading something on this Twitter feed that was saying the Patriots haven't allowed a touchdown since January. And of course, they're talking about the playoffs. They're talking about how they didn't allow one in the Super Bowl. And, of course, after the Super Bowl, you got the stretch of months where, there's no games and all. So I understand what they were saying, but yeah, but it's still impressive though that they haven't allowed a touchdown in these two games. I mean, even Baltimore allowed the Dolphins to get a late game score last week, and the Patriots just said no. They just decided to just not hold back and just gave them all they had, and did not allow the Dolphins to get scored, not even a field goal. Man, so they really been clicking. Jake Bailey, he had another game. I love to give Jake Bailey some love, cause I love looking at how the special teams performs. Um, Averaged 46.3 on his punts. Had a long of 53, and down like 3 in the 20. So again, Jake Bailey still doing his thing. Loving the decision to keep Jake Bailey instead of Ryan Allen. Um, yeah, so it seems like Bill Belichick, don't question him. Don't question him. He knows what he's doing. He made the right pick, and this guy has a leg on him, man. I'm telling you, this guy, he's going to play a factor in some of these games down the stretch, just because of like the way he's able to produce in the punting game. I mean, I'm saying it right now. Go back to this if I'm right about it. But I believe he's gonna play a big factor in one of these games because of that leg. But now that we got all the good stuff out of the way, it's time to get in the bad. And it's not a lot of bad, once again, because the Patriots were able to perform well on offense as well as defense. But there's always some bad to go with the good, so let's go ahead and get to it. As far as the bad goes, Stephen Gostkowski, look, he did alright. As far as, like, if you looked at the stat sheet and just looked at it, it's like, out of 2 field goal attempts, he made 1. Out of 6, extra point, PATs, he got 4. So 4 out of 6. But it's just the fact that he just missed. He just missed, like, these close field goals and close PATs, and it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense for him to look this bad. Especially considering how he was looking last week kicking. But he wasn't just god awful, but he did miss like 3 kicks, and whether that has to do with the snap or the holder or just him or whatever, I don't know. But that's just something they got to figure out, because in some games, if the Patriots aren't blowing people out like they are right now, those kicks are going to matter. They're going to matter, and it's I would hate to have a game. I don't even want to say it, but the kicking game, it matters when it matters, if that makes sense. Everybody loves to like just dismiss them until you need 3 points to win the game, and your kicker just pretty much bails on you. Hey, if you don't believe what I'm saying, ask Chicago. Ask some Chicago fans. But yeah, that's as much as I had to say about Stephen Gostkowski. As anything else, really, it just has to do with penalties. Had a lot of penalties, later on in the game. Some things that, they really could have, just worked on. And I think, with the offensive line, looking the way it is, because Isaiah Wynn also, he had left the game with a foot injury. So just implementing those new offensive linemen in there with Cunningham, and forgive me, but I can't even remember the other man's name who played left tackle today. Newhouse, I think that's his name. But if I'm wrong, let me know. But I think his last name is Newhouse. Really, we have to get our line healthy again, because it's bad enough that we had to go into the season without David Andrews, and now you're losing your right tackle and then your left tackle, and it's like, I don't know. But yeah, as far as that, the penalties, yeah, that's pretty much it. Steven Gostkowski and the penalties, only really bad part of the game. Um, and Sony Michel did have a fumble, but you know, I think that's just something that they're gonna work on anyway. It's still, he had a better game than he had last week, so I'll go ahead and give that to him. But I don't like fumbles, and uh, hopefully they clean that up as well. But that's all I really have for this game. Not really a lot to speak on. Even if I wanted to speak on the Dolphins, which probably not gonna do, but even if I wanted to speak on them, there's not really much you can speak on them about except for just the state of their team. It just looks bad. It just looks bad. There's no easy way of saying it. They only have scored 10 points in the last 2 weeks. 10. And have allowed 102, I think, as far as their competition. So, I mean, what's there to say? I mean, Brian Flores says they're not tanking, but can we take his word for that? I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say Brian Flores is the type to tank. Especially coming from where he, came from, being with the Patriots so long. I don't even think he understands the meaning of tanking. I mean, shoot. So I don't really see him as tanking. I would just say that this team just does not have it together, and it's just as far as just like the talent, the play calling, just everything. It just doesn't look like it's really working for Miami, and it just doesn't seem like they're going to really get anything going this year. But yeah, until next time, where we have the Patriots going up against the Jets, and I'll cover that after the game ends. But yeah, that's it for this. That's it for this week. Week 2 is in the books, except for the Monday night game that's going on tomorrow. Catch that, Browns versus Jets. But until next time, I'm out.